April 29th, 2026, A Meditative Life. Love received when unaware. Beloved saints, have you rested into the peace of the Lord today? When is the time into our lives when we receive the most absolute and sacrificial love after being born into this world? Many scholars say it is the time from birth until we turn 4 years old. It is the period when the cherishing love of our parents, who held us into their arms as fragile newborns, constantly ensured our comfort, lost sleep at night, and raised us with all their devotion, was poured out most intensively. However, the truly strange and mysterious fact is that we live completely forgetting the memories before the age of 4, when we received such tremendous love. We do not remember at all the tearful moments of sacrifice and dedication that protected our lives. We simply hear stories like, "My mother breastfed and raised me like this," or "That person carried you on their back and ran all night when you were sick," and we only accept that love through faith. Beloved, the love of the cross we received from God is just like this. Long before we realized the Lord's love on the cross, shed tears and gave thanks. No, even from the time when we did not even know the Lord and could not even fathom what grace was, God's love was already being poured out toward us. Romans chapter 5 verses 8 and 10 testify like this: "While we were still sinners and while we were enemies, the Lord died for us, thereby demonstrating his own love for us." When we were not even spiritual infants, not knowing what sin was, turning our backs on God and living like enemies, the Lord silently shed his blood on the cross, washing and saving our souls. Even though we were spiritually nurtured and cared for under the shadow of that cross, we foolishly mistake that love as something we earn by our own strength, or often boast of our own righteousness. However, just as the mother's sacrifice, which we cannot even remember, made me exist today, the one-sided and unconditional love of God, poured out when I did not know or realize it, has shaped me into who I am today, enjoying eternal life. Today, beyond the limits of my memory and emotions, I earnestly hope you have a gracious day, deeply meditating on the blind love of the cross that already came to me and gave up its life when I was a sinner and an enemy, and being moved by that love solely through faith. Meditation and application. The first meditation is remembering the love of the cross poured out when I did not know. I must look back to see if I mistakenly think the Lord only loves me when I passionately do something and dedicate myself to him, showing off my actions as my own merit. The true love of the cross is that he already laid down his life for me when I was spiritually blind, did not know the Lord, and acted like an enemy into the pit of sin. Today, regardless of my condition, let us lay down all our pride and boasting before that absolute grace poured out when I was a sinner, and simply bow down and offer a sincere prayer of restoration into gratitude. The second meditation is fully accepting and enjoying that love through faith. Just as we enjoy our identity as children by accepting our parents' sacrifice through faith rather than memory, let us look back to see if I am enjoying the joy of being a child of God by accepting the love of the cross with perfect faith. Instead of doubting the Lord's love by relying on my shallow emotions or clumsy memory, I must look at the clear evidence of the cross with the eyes of faith. Today, even if hardships that cannot be immediately understood come into my life, let us live a blessed day, enjoying true peace through faith, trusting the Lord's voice saying, "Even when you were an enemy, I loved you this much."